GB9 Midlands Classic. This is the Challenge Division final between a former European junior silver medalist, in Thomas Ainsworth-Smith, and a BPPA Tour winner in Bradley Parker. Due to the quality of the field actually entering this year's GB9 Ball Tour, both of these players are going to have to spend the year in the Challenge Division, but on paper look like two of the players who are likely to progress from the Challenge Division into the Pro Tour next year. So Thomas won the lag, and as you saw, is broken, and he's already sunk that long 2-ball. Just shows you a little bit of his background, knocking in a ball like that. Thomas actually was a very promising snooker player before he turned his hand to the American 9-ball discipline. So in terms of his pedigree, he's worked very, very hard on a very solid cue action. He's converted to 9-ball very well, as I say. He was a junior silver medalist at his first ever Junior European Championships, and that was actually in the straight pool event. And his opponent in this match is Bradley Parker from Bracknell in Berkshire. So Thomas now just to sink this 9 to give himself a 1-0 lead. Move into Brad's break into rack 2. Once again to remind all of our viewers that it is alternate break on the GB9 Ball Tour, and for every one of the finals it's a race to 11 racks. Q Sport TV is the only place where you can watch the GB9 Ball Tour exclusively. On our free-to-air schedule and also via video on demand. So if you've missed one of the previous matches that we've shown, then you can log in and watch it to your heart's content. This is the first match we've actually picked up in the Challenge Division. Obviously we're limited by what we can cover in a weekend. There are hundreds of matches literally across the weekend, and we can only cover a few of them. And in this particular instance we've covered the last 16 match from the Pro Division. We featured Chris Melling and Craig Osborne, and then we featured a quarter-final between... Just had to go kick off the rail there. Quarter-final, featured Carl Boys and Mark Gray. We then played you both of the semi-finals from the Pro Division, which featured Imran Majid, Craig Osborne, Phil Burford and Carl Boys again. And we're bringing you all three of the finals. The Pro Division, which some of you will have already seen, between Imran and Phil Burford. Then we have this match between Thomas Ainsworth-Smith and Bradley Parker, and coming up soon will be the main event final, again featuring a very informed Imran Majid against European #1 Mark Gray, so another one to look forward to. A lot of people have stayed around for these finals, which is a good testament to the way the format works, in that 2 of the 3 finals are actually on the Saturday night, and with the majority of the players playing on the Sunday anyway, they stay over and actually lend a bit of support to the players. And that is a horrendous miscue. It's a horrendous miscue, just given the table up there. I mean, Thomas is going to say thank you very much. That's has jumped over the 4 ball where he's tried to screw that back off the cushion. Thomas shows him how it should be done. These balls now look in a very, very comfortable position. Anything too difficult here for Thomas now. Just the 7 ball sunk. Just the 8 and the 9 to give him a 2-0 lead. Down it goes. So into rack 3. Another look at Tom's break. Obviously from a snooker background, so I was just about to say not renowned for their breaking power, but that's actually almost a perfect break the way he's split those balls. He's made the wing ball and he's parked the white in the middle. It's exactly where you want to park it. The only thing he hasn't got is an easy pot on the 1. He's got an easy shot on the 1, but not a pot, and he's opted for the safety. He's tucked it in, I think, tucked it in behind that 2 ball there. I don't think Bradley can see that. Himself a bit of thinking, Tom. I think he's going to have to go 1 rail here, possibly even 2. He's attempted to kick it off 1. That's where the safety has given Thomas the advantage. Again gives a ball in hand, which he'll gladly accept. Shot to move that 9 ball there and give himself position on the 4. So far Thomas looks like a great prospect for the future. He's come through a field of 96 in this challenge event to book his place in this final, and with himself and obviously Phil Burford, who's playing in the Pro Division, plus another couple of youngsters that are coming through. Oh, he screwed right back into the pocket, so another unforced error. And he hands Bradley the ball. But yeah, British 9 ball looks to be in a very, very good state. Obviously we've got the world champion, we've got the European number 1, plus then we've got the likes of Raj Hundal, Imran Majid, Pat Holtz, who are all flying the flag for Britain. It seems that the players coming through from the junior ranks, the likes of, as I say, Phil Burford, who's on the Pro Tour, and Thomas Ainsworth-Smith, the future looks very, very bright for British 9 ball. There's no reason why we can't dominate the European Tour and also the world scene for years to come. So Bradley puts this 9 down and pulls 1 back. And now he's lost the cue ball into the corner pocket. And so far in these 3 racks we've seen a number of errors from both players. Could just be nerves, could just be a little bit of tension in the cue arm. quick mention that any of these matches will actually be available on DVD, all of the GB9 World Tour. They'll be priced £12, and you'll be able to buy them via Q Sport TV's website, or alternatively actually at the venues. The first times they'll be available will be at the London events in Harrow at the end of May. There you'll be able to pick up at least 4 or 5 of these matches that we've seen so far on Q Sport TV. Thomas puts that away, gives himself, extends his lead again to 3-1. This time lose the cue ball a little bit, but he's got a nice shot on the one ball into the centre pocket if he chooses to accept it. For the long rail, drops it in nicely. The only major problem I can see in this rack, if it's going to be a problem, is the 6 ball, which looks to be covered into that centre pocket by the point of the actual pocket there. Whether he can drop it in, I'm not sure. Have to see what he does when he leaves himself positioned for that. He may well opt to try and develop that ball. Stuns that off the side rail. I suppose the other option here, which is what he might do, is draw back behind the 6 ball and play it again down the long rail. It does look tight. I'm not sure whether that does go in the centre pocket. Oh, obviously did. Wasn't as tight as we thought it was. I think if he wanted a bit more angle on this 8 ball here to now bring the cue ball back up for the 9, he'd want a touch more of an angle there. I don't know if he's going to be able to force this one through, or if he opts for a longer pot. He's had to opt for the longer pot. It's not an easy shot. As I say, a former snooker player, so we'll get down to use it. So, and he sinks that one nice. That's a lovely pot. That gives him a 4-1 lead, so he extends it to 3 racks now in this race to 11. It's the second break in a row where he's lost the cue ball into that top right-hand corner pocket as we were watching. So the luck actually going from bad to worse for Bradley there. Bradley, I think, one of those players over the last few years who has never really fulfilled his potential. I think he'll probably be the first one to agree with that. Perhaps should have been there or thereabouts in a few more of the tournaments that he's entered, but for some reason or another he's not quite reached that level. I think playing in the Challenge Division this year for both these players will actually give them both very, very good tournament experience. Obviously they're going to be in the winner's circle, probably most of them, for the duration of the season. But the match practice against some of the decent players in this Challenge Division will obviously bode well for next season if they do get promotion. And both players should be good enough to stay on that tour next season. He's almost left himself snookered behind the 8, unfortunately. I think he's got a bit of a thin cut here on the 7 if he wants to take it. don't think he can cuff the right hand pocket. So I think it's very, very thin. Sends the cue ball all the way around the angles. What a great positional shot that is. He himself straight on the 8. He's not going to do a lot with the cue ball, he'll just draw it back a foot or so. And knock this 9 ball in. To give him a 5-1 lead, and we'll be back after the break.